Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review. A few weeks ago, when I reviewed Ambre Sultan, the original, the vintage version, I promised you that I will come back to you with the review of the current version if I could find my decant. And I was able to locate it. This decant was hiding away with some of the other decants which I've just discovered, and I'm going to review them as well. And it's from 2019, I believe, before COVID, and Ambre Sultan was reformulated, I believe, in 2015 and then again in 2018. So the current formulation bottles look like this, and the old formulation bottles, I'm going to put it side by side, and the one that I've got here is the old formulation from the noughties, the early noughties, and there was another one from the early 90s which I discussed in the review of this vintage version. You can check it out. That video will give you an idea as to what to look out for. And when I sprayed it side by side, and I'll do a comparison video if required, I'll give you some pointers. I was quite amazed at the changes done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to review this fragrance, the current formulation, as if I'm going to do a single review. And that gives you an idea because that will help more people. And then I'll give you a few pointers to the vintage version. So Ambre Sultan released 1993. Is considered, what a beautiful scent this is, guys. This is considered by many as one of the most remarkable Oriental ambers. Oriental ambers have been in existence for a long time, and Oriental Eastern perfumery is very heavily invested in ambers, in ouds, in sandalwood, in florals like rose, etc. So no surprises that amber was chosen, and Serge Lutens did a superb job. The parfumer is Christopher Sheldrake. They did a superb job here. So when you first spray it, you automatically, if you've not smelled this one, you'll automatically believe that you're smelling one of the greatest fragrances out there. If you have some experience, it's full-on exposure to many notes, all packed in together like a layer cake, and coming across as a very rich, buttery, salty, smoky, green, nutty amber, all at the same time. That's the blending, that's the quality of the blending. It's incredible. And if you have smelt the vintage, you'll see that this is more green, more herbal. And the herbal notes here, the main note in Ambre Sultan, the green herbal note, is bay leaf. But here, it's Angelica. And that's what makes it more interesting to my nose. I really like the note of Angelica, and it's green herbal nutty and fresh. Very nice. The Angelica is amazing, and it's paired with vanilla. So vanilla played a very little role in the vintage. Here, the vanilla is playing a very dominant role, at least on paper, and very earthy patchouli. And those are the three notes which are playing a dominant note here as compared to the vintage. It's much less smoky. It becomes smoky later on. And yeah, so the opening is an amber fragrance, but it's got more herbal elements to it. Angelica, it's got more earthiness to it, patchouli, and it's got a little bit of sweetness and resinous sweetness to it. And that is vanilla and myrrh. Myrrh plays a bigger role here as compared to benzoin and Loban incense, frankincense, in the vintage plays a bigger role. Here it's myrrh, play-doh-y smell. And I really like the quality of myrrh that's been used here. It's really nice, very high quality, earthy, play-doh-y, and kind of sweetness to it. The fragrance, when it dries down in the middle stages, brings in more woody elements. And that was a surprise because Ambre Sultan has woody elements as well, but it's more resinous, more smoky, and more buttery, salty. Here, it's more woody, and that is sandalwood. Sandalwood, this is beautiful. I just got a very, very beautiful lemony, salty frankincense. But yeah, sandalwood, and that too less creamy version of sandalwood, is what you smell in the middle stages. And in the dry down, all these notes form together with a little spicy bite of coriander, dry coriander, bay leaf still there, play doughy, myrrh still there, benzoin coming up a little bit more, no leather, almost no leather, no animalics, no tobacco leaf kind of a smell, no musk, none of that animalic smell you get in the vintage. It's all gone. It gets dry, spicy coriander with sandalwood, with patchouli, vanilla, more vanilla, and myrrh. Very nice myrrh. Myrrh plays a bigger role here, and obviously the freshness, the resinous quality, the richness is there, but it's a different note. So that's the development of the fragrance. It starts very nice, very, very beautiful vanilla, angelica, a little hint of smokiness, very, very nice, and myrrh goes into spicy qualities, dry spiciness, and then sort of settles down into a beautiful woody, dry, airy, earthy, vanillic amber. Vanilla plays a bigger role, and that's the development of the scent. Still very nice. It's still got those wonderfully charming qualities. And if I was to summarize in a nutshell the differences in the smell, see, the thing is, this one here, this is not an easy wear. It's an absolute beast mode fragrance. It challenges people, even the experienced ones, and it needs a special sort of a mindset and mood to wear this. I've got a full bottle. I've emptied about half of it, but I still need to be in the mood to wear this fragrance. So, and this one here is more approachable, the current version. It's still got the wonderful charm that amber fragrances have, the Oriental style, it's got all those elements here, but it doesn't take you on a journey like this. So if I was to summarize it by giving you an example, I would say this is like motorcycle. Let's use a motorcycle example. This is like Panigale V2S. It looks beautiful, it's very powerful, it'll take you on a trip, but you need special kind of skills to handle it. One mistake, it'll chew you up and spit you out. Okay, so this is what it is. This will scar you for life if you didn't like it, because it is incredibly strong and quite complex. This one here is a Triumph Speed 400. You still get the thrill, you still enjoy yourself. You can go and take it anywhere you want, you can park anywhere you want, you don't need special skills to enjoy it, and it's a beautiful ride. So that's the best example I can think of. I've been thinking about it. How do I tell you the difference? It's equally thrilling, equally fun. This is more accessible, it's more forgiving. If you don't like it, you wear it again, you might like it, you will like it. It's complex, it's got many layers to it, it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's beautifully finished. So that's how I would summarize the difference. Now, upsides and downsides. See, for me, this feels timeless, even now, even with the reformulation. It's one of those fragrances which will never die down. There are many distractors of this fragrance. They say this is now extinct, something else has come in. Something else will always come in. But don't forget, this is the fragrance, Christopher Sheldrake's masterpiece. This is the fragrance which paved the way for amazing fragrances like Tom Ford's Amber Absolute, like Dior's Mitsa. I've reviewed both of these fragrances. It paved the way, it created a template for such amazing fragrances. This fragrance will never die out. It's a timeless masterpiece. It'll never die out. So if you add this to your collection, it will only enhance your collection. It will not reduce the value of your collection. It will expose you to some new experiences. That's number one. Number two would be the absolutely wonderful value for money. See, I just checked, and it's the 100 ml bottle. Mine is a 50 ml. I paid more than £100 for it. The 100 ml bottle here in the UK, in the open market, is available for less than £100. Do not even think twice about it. If you want to acquire a good Oriental Amber, go for it. You'll never be let down. The value for money now is probably twice as much as when I compared to what I paid for it. It is tremendous. For less than £100, you're getting an absolute bargain. Brilliant, brilliant fragrance. And the third upside is, if you want something that has depth and complexity, but you always wondered where to start, this could be, now it's become a starter's fragrance, a beginner's kind of, or medium level complexity. It has so many different facets, as I explained. It has complexity in development. It has depth. It has richness, opulence, complexity of green and warm notes working together. It is a tremendous fragrance for somebody paying less than £100. Absolutely. So it will give you that sort of experience of what a complex, rich fragrance is. A fragrance that has depth. What is it? This will give you a very good example, a starting point. As I said, if you add this to your collection, it'll not disappoint you. Now let's talk about downsides. To some people who have smelled the original, the vintage, even in decant form, or even through scent memory, it might feel watered down because the performance is almost half. See, the original lasts on your skin for a day, on your clothes for days, weeks. Projection is more than an arm's length. It is extremely dense and very potent and creates a beautiful scent cloud. This one probably lasts on your skin for about 8 hours. It doesn't project as much. It creates a small personal sort of a intimate sort of a scent cloud, but it still smells amazing. I keep repeating myself. It still smells amazing, but it's not the beast that it used to be, and that's the biggest downside, and that's what people talk about, and rightly so. They say this has been watered down. It's not been watered down. It doesn't feel weak. It's just the composition is such, and it's still interesting and complex and rich, but it doesn't have the beast mode projection and the longevity and the sillage it used to have, and that's probably the biggest downside. Now, as a beginner, if you approach this, the second downside would be, as a beginner, if you approach this thinking, okay, let me have an introduction to an amber fragrance. This is very spicy and quite smoky, even in its current incarnation. So if you have very little experience with spicy and smoky fragrances, you might want to sample this before going for a blind buy, because there are many beginners ambers. For example, Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Grand Soir, beautiful synthetic single molecule super amber, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You can try that if you want to get initiated into ambers and you're a complete newbie. This one as a newbie could be a bit of a challenge. So those are the downsides. Now let's talk about value for money. Value for money now, from what I've seen in the UK, the prices I can see is in the UK. Great value for money. I'd easily, somebody who's got some experience with fragrances, I'd easily recommend them to try it and see if they really like it. If they like it, if they sample it, they can definitely go for a full bottle. Value for money is tremendous. I would say medium to high, based on what I've seen, based on how much I like both the versions. Compliment factor, you will get a compliment. If you wear it to a special occasion, dressed up, you will absolutely get a compliment. They've removed the animalic, the smoky notes, the dirty notes are gone. This has almost no animalics. The original one had an animalic musk. It also had a very smoky character, and it had a butch leather hiding behind that amber. All those notes are gone. So you will you should get a compliment if you wear it right. It is a special occasions fragrance. That brings you to the next point. Where do you wear it? You wear it to where you want to come across as a very special person who takes care of himself and has very good taste. It could be weddings, your own wedding, going to a black tie event, festival, big parties, clubbing. It wouldn't project as much, but if people walk into your scent cloud, 4 on your clothes, on your jacket or whatever, you'll impress one and all. No doubts about that. Absolutely. This is a superb scent, still a rock star scent. So, age groups, 30 plus. It needs that sort of a little understanding. It might even come across as dated to somebody in their teens because of the notes used and the way it's been used. It's very smoky. So, 30 plus would be the right age group. Seasons, I can wear this any season apart from summer. Summer, it's too much. But the green notes here, the angelica, the bay leaf, the myrtle, they might support it, the coriander, but there's oregano here, and it jumps up a bit when it gets hot. So oregano in summer, I don't know. So 3 seasons at least. I think I've covered all aspects. Performance, value for money, compliment factor, age groups, the scent profile, and its differences. If you still want a head-to-head comparison, let me know in the comment section. But how many marks will I give it? And before I go to the mark section, how will I summarize this? See, this has been a cornerstone of perfumery when it comes to Oriental Ambers. It's been in existence for more than 30 years. It has paved the way for many amazing Oriental Ambers. Some I have named, others I can name. For example, Serge Lutens Ambre, much loved by people, spicy Oriental Amber. So this is still relevant. It's still a rock star's fragrance. It'll always be a rock star amber in my books. Some detractors of this fragrance say, oh, this has been watered down. I don't think so. It's just a different reincarnation, but it's still relevant. It's still enjoyable. It's still loved. And that's why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Do sample this if you're looking for a complex, oriental, multi-layered amber that you can wear to most occasions, and if you're fearful of wearing an animalic complex amber, do test it out and see for yourself. I quite enjoy both. I've got both versions. I quite liked it, and I think 8 out of 10 is a fair score. Hope you enjoyed the review, fellas. And if you did, do give it a like and do subscribe if you haven't. Take care. Bye-bye.